So, Sam, would you like to welcome the first guest for today?
I can indeed. I can indeed. Dean is an experienced sales manager in the automotive industry with a deep knowledge of commercial vehicles and the public sector marketplace.
Reading that.
I know I'm
Are you
reading it.
reading that, Sam?
His specialities include, and this is from his own profile, are you ready? Relationship builder, tender production, contract negotiation, contract implementations, account management, sales team leadership, knowledge of the public sector, commercial vehicles, electric vehicles, automotive industry, vehicle funding, and car sharing.
He's just a big bloke from the AA.
Yeah.
And
Is there anything he doesn't do?
Is that his CV?
Stop interrupting. Paul, shut up. Right, working within the automotive industry since the early 1990s, he is indeed as old as he sounds. Nevertheless, he is a much loved and key figure on our industry and has always been a huge supporter of the EV Cafe and us all as individuals as well, actually. So for that, we shall be eternally grateful. Dean, make it good. Over to you.
I think your intro's longer than what I've got to say.
Longer than you, though. Sam gets paid by the word, apparently.
Yeah,
I do now. At this point, I do. Yeah.
I need to qualify my my hybrid behaviour as well. Just think that just needs a bit more context to it. It is a plug-in hybrid. It does give me about 25 miles range, which I do charge, and I do drive around sunny Burgess Hill on electric as much as possible. But when I ordered that car back in September 2019, we were in a very different world. And I think, yeah, the EV acceleration over the last couple of years has been unbelievable. And yeah, absolutely, the next car will be an EV. I've actually got a Kia EV6 coming next week for a few days to demo. So
You like that? It's nice.
yeah.
Did you get to drive that on the EV Rally of Scotland, Dean?
No, I had a Polestar.
Oh, you didn't get out of the Polestar the whole time? Oh.
No, I did a Polestar on that. I've got Mustang E on the Great British EV Rally this year, and then the EV6. I'm hoping one of those three will certainly, if I can be fortunate enough to get one of those, then happy days. But anyway, we're not here to talk about my poor behaviour in a hybrid. We're here to talk about the shows. So yeah, look, you guys asked me to drop in, and someone said, tell us all about Rodney. Oh, Simon, you're very good, very good. Yeah, Rodney was the car, my car was named Rodney by my colleague, who I had to borrow her car for a while due to a tyre issue. But because it's a burnt orange colour, she said it was slightly awkward and stands out in a crowd, a bit like me and a bit like Rodney. So there you go. That was why it was called Rodney. Anyway, the shows. So look, it's great to get back on the show horse. ITT Hub with you guys and Fully Charged. We've both been at both events. And I think I would say that it was great to get out and meet people again. Yeah, I have had the conversation of, blimey, you're much taller than you are on Teams, definitely. And our feedback, I think, Fully Charged had a real buzz to it. Probably shouldn't say buzz, given it's an electric vehicle show. Vibe, is that what that's what the kids say it is, isn't it?
Vibe is good. We like
had a good vibe. Had a good vibe to it. I was there all day on the Friday, and I wish I could have been there longer. It was fantastic, and I think the buzz around the vibe around that was really down to the growth of EV and the way that the different areas of the industry are all expanding and growing, and so much collaboration across all these different organisations that is all pulling in the same direction. So it's great to see. It was good to meet people. Many I'd only met on Teams previously. And it's good to make new contacts as well, face to face again. But it's funny because you're finding yourself meeting people and agreeing, okay, let's have a Teams and let's talk about what we can do together before you sort of start charging around the country and seeing each other again. So it's almost like a bit of a reverse play as we go back to whatever normal is going to look like. The ITT Hub was bigger this year, noticeably bigger this year. Last year it was very much, I think, a test bed as things got going again. So it was great to see that, and it's great to see the diversity at that event in all the different worlds of transport that's there. Refrigeration, HGV, buses, passenger transport, all those things that Sam said I know about in one place. Fantastic.
Did you find that you were able to learn lots from being at both of the shows? Does it help you in your role in terms of what you do?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I guess I should have said that at the start, shouldn't I? For some of the people that won't know me, my role is business development at the AA. So, you know, with a real focus on taking the AA beyond breakdown, I've been heavily involved in a lot of the associated products and services that we have for fleets, like accident management, incident management developments, SMR with Prestige, but also the EV proposition that we've got now. So we've got some customers on here, I know that use us for a phone-based support service. So that service now is taking around 11,000 calls a month, where we help out charge point operators and their drivers at charge posts need assistance. But that's evolved further, and Paul, you alluded to it yourself, where we've got a field-based proposition now, where we've retrained our fuel assist technicians. They can go out, they can go to charge posts, they can reboot feeder pillars, they can do safe isolation work, they can release stuck cables, and we're starting to get that up and running now with a number of the charge point operators that we work with. So, yeah, in a shameless pitch, if anybody's interested in that service, then please get in touch.
Good news there, Dean. Somebody needed to step into that space for sure.
Yeah. So
more than that, somebody needs to step into it and organize it. I mean, there's plenty of companies offering it, but you've got the perfect ecosystem.
yeah, no, absolutely. And what we saw with the fuel assist guys, that was a business that is not as busy as it used to be, because there is less diesels on the road, there is less people misfueling. So it was a great opportunity to retrain those guys. They're all really excited to get stuck in, and we've done a number of site visits with CPOs, familiarization of hardware. So we're in a good place. Taking it back to shows, did you guys want me to announce what's on the horizon?
Yeah,
Well,
what are you going to be going to, mate? Yeah, definitely. What are you looking ahead to?
Yeah, so like I said, it was good to do those last two with you guys, but also really exciting this one. We've got the AA are one of the sponsors of the Electric Avenue at Goodwood this year, the Goodwood Festival of Speed. So from the 23rd to the 26th of June, we will be there with our friends from the EV Cafe who are joining us as well, and also other friends, associates, colleagues, various people within the AA, all across our business, representing B2B, a consumer portfolio, our AA cars colleagues, the driving school. Everybody's going to be represented, and this the Electric Avenue is a real showcase of everything that's being done in the industry on the push towards electrification, and we are really chuffed to be involved.
Oh, I'm not surprised. Last year it was good to see it, and I was really excited. I went all the way there just to see it, and it definitely had quite a buzz about it. But more than that, this year I hope it's bigger. It was great that it had that central focus when there was so many exhibitors around, but it kept getting sort of drowned out by the usual stuff. So I'm hoping it's even bigger with, as you say, interviews and kind of a media-centric spotlight on it this year.
Yeah, no, I think so. I think it's like we've seen with the other events, Sarah, a broadening of attendees and exhibitors, and I think the Festival of Speed will be no different. I also believe Tukker will be making an appearance, so keep your eyes peeled. But we'll keep him off. We'll keep him off the hill, obviously, because it's not safe to be out there amongst all the vehicles.
Is it a life-size Tukker?
I really can't say, John. I really can't say. Have you been fitted out for the suit? Just checking.
I genuinely have always wanted to be a mascot, and I think if I was going to be any mascot, it would have to be a Tukker suit. Count me in.
Cool. Well, I think that's it for me, guys. Any more for any more?
Yeah. So JC, I see that we've got a few questions in our mailroom. Do we want to have a look at those?
Yeah. Lewis Norton has been prolific, but AA specific questions. How do the AA handle EV breakdowns from a flat battery, the most regular cause of a breakdown in an EV? Since they can't be towed, are they just transported to a charging point? And additionally, does the AA expect an increase in call-outs whilst drivers adjust to EV ranges? Dino, go.
Oh, okay. I'm going to answer that question in the context of a flat high voltage system as opposed to flat battery, because flat battery in our world is the 12-volt battery, which is the main call out. But Lewis, to answer your question, last year we did 3 million call outs, 3.1 million call outs 38,000 of those were to pure electric vehicles, and only 4% of those were to people with a flat high voltage system. And then when you dig into that, some people were calling us up just because it had a message to say the system was going to go flat. It isn't actually that many that run out. What we do to deal with those is we have something called a Freewheeling Hub, which is a device that will fit to the wheels of the vehicle. I'm cutting this very short here. Fit to the wheels of the vehicle, basically disconnect the drive from the motor and allow that vehicle to be towed. That's one way we deal with them. We can also recover them if they're too heavy to be towed. But yeah, that's where we are at the minute. We are looking at developments of onboard charging as well. There'll be something coming along their lines late this year. But that, as you can tell with the context, there isn't that many based on what we get called out to. So we'll see, you know, we've got an eye on the developments for that for the future. I hope that answers your question.
It answers it very nicely, mate. Well done. Nigel John Wilson, all the way from Spanish Spain. He asks about the total cost of ownership. So perhaps you could explain what that is, the TCO, but he says, do you think that the average consumer in the UK takes TCO into account when considering a new vehicle or just the sticker price?
I don't think that the average consumer takes into account TCO. I think that's very much a kind of fleet view. And I think that TCO can be measured in a few different ways. And it almost needs constant refreshing with the way that fuel prices have increased and electric prices have increased, and the way insurance premiums are changing all the time. It's a moving target. So yeah, no, I don't think consumers do. You know, we've done consumer surveys where we've looked at reasons why people have bought EVs, and the TCO is not up there. No.
Dean, I mean, you've been in leasing, as have I, and we are very guilty of not pitching the total cost of ownership. What we do, or usership in the case of leasing, of course, but we stick to the sort of pounds per month price. We don't say, I mean, like we've got a few protagonists on the market now, such as Onto and others that Onto, Elmo, and different ones, and we're seeing all-in numbers, which are really helpful. But I think people are sort of frightened off by this big number, because I can get something, you know, there it is £600, there it is £350. Well, I'll go and have the £350 and then pay the other £255 somewhere else, you know, and we don't do the maths together, do we?
People don't take into account depreciation, Paul. You know, people who buy a car do not take depreciation in as one of their running costs.
No.
Fundamentally, and that's a massive part of a good, you know, TCO calculation. Absolutely.
Yeah.